Be aware of what you eat while doing sport, going surfing, whatever. We decided we just start a video about that now. Marina is here. She already got experience, like 20 years of surfing. And for her, nutrition is a big, big part in her life. Same as for me, as a coach, as a personal trainer, as a yogi. It's powerful to have a healthy body, and food is kind of the petrol we put in our engine every day. And it's so important to have a good nutrition to avoid injuries, avoid issues like diseases and all these things. We were talking about diabetes and the impact on
100%.
sugar, alcohol, and other drugs on the body. Do you have any ideas what maybe women are going through with the nutrition? We can share some ideas about that.
Yeah, I think as a woman, I would say more than guys, we have this social pressure to have a perfect body, to have, to be fit and to look good. And of course, for guys, it's the same.
Yeah, we want to look good and fit.
Everybody wants to look good, but I think socially, in general, we have more issues, considering, for example, weight. And I think it's easier because we have some differences on our metabolism, that it's easier for a girl to put up weight and to be like a hostage of this crazy diets. And from this, we gotta be careful, because there's a lot of people, they don't really care about like health. They just think of the aesthetic, right? And I can tell by my experience that once I stopped caring too much about how I look like, and I really start to care about my health, to care about being nourished, to get from the food the energy I need to do the things I like to do, as surfing, as martial arts that I used to do a lot. And until you get there, you go through like a very complicated process, because it's painful, and it's not easy to abandon some beliefs, some things that are common in society for everyone. For example, being in a diet, like I think it's a very common thing when I talk to my friends. Like, we are always trying to lose 5 kilos. If I talk to my friends, everybody's like, I want to lose 5 kilos. Why? Is that really what you need? Shouldn't you be focused in something else, in eat well, and then you don't need to be worried about losing weight? And the diet is basically a trap, because you starve your body. You tell yourself, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, and you just manage to do that for a short period of time, because eventually you're gonna deceive yourself and go back eating those things again. So diets, they don't work. It's 100%. I can tell you, because I've been there. I used to be like a professional fighter, and I was always on diets to match the weight for a competition or something. And then once you achieve that and you go there, you compete, when you see you're eating like 3 pizzas, 4 burgers, 2 liters of Coca-Cola, and then you just walk all the way back again. So this doesn't work. Doesn't work for me. And I'm telling you, not only for me, because I study a lot, I research a lot, and every scientist, every nutritionist is going to be against that. And if they tell you to do that, just find another one, because this one is not a good one. And yeah, especially with the diseases, and I think you can get diabetes, you can get blood pressure problems. And we're not talking about when you're 60, we're talking, like, I know people with 30 years old, 40 years old with diabetes, with with many circulation problems. So it starts now. I'm 34, so I'm kind of doing this as a saving for the future, but it could be happening right now, because it does happen. And yeah, gotta be careful. I don't want to have diabetes. I don't want to have obesity. So just change your mindset instead of living on diets. try to eat healthy as a religion, not as a diet, because diets, they not gonna work. 100%.
I think also it's a way of life and integrating it into your daily flow. What do you recommend to eat, and how do you recommend to eat, as you say, healthy, in a healthy way? What does that mean for you, and
For
how
me,
can people take their
yeah,
thing of it?
I had a 7 years old experience as vegetarian and vegan, so that helped me to fall in love for natural, healthy food, because before I was very into like potato, meat, nothing green on my plate, very childish powder, and it was really hard for me to eat vegetables in general. So that was a process that I had to go through. But sometimes, even being a vegetarian, you're not healthy, because you need to pay attention when you're vegetarian in your vitamins, and otherwise you're gonna have like problems with your hormones and everything. But once I stopped being vegetarian, I wanted to keep what they call a macrobiotic diet, which is not a diet, like what did you say, the
Way of life,
way of life
philosophy.
or philosophy, but basically is eat as much as natural as you can. So every time that you have to open a box or a package, that's not macrobiotic, you know. So what is macrobiotic? You peel an orange, you open a banana. So this is like the healthiest way to eat, as more natural as possible.
Yeah. For example, this one is already not that healthy, right?
Because
if we compare it with eating an orange.
Orange, because it's already been through one process, which is like when you press the juice, this is considered one process. But it's still, it comes from the fruit. You know, the fruit is probably grown here in Indonesia, no agrotoxics, and is still healthy. I'm not telling you not to drink a juice, but don't drink orange juice from a bottle that you buy on the supermarket.
Yeah, it's
Never.
only sugar and all that, all the conservative
Just
shit
drop it.
inside.
And of course, like when I'm hangover, I love a Coca-Cola. I'm not telling you I'm never gonna drink Coca-Cola in my life. I will. Even Antoine Bourdain, the famous chef, he says that Coca-Cola it's a medicine that you need sometimes when you're in a hangover and everything. I'm not telling you, like, and that's the thing about having a philosophy instead of diet, because you allow yourself to eat some sort of things when you're in a holiday, when you're in a special occasion. You give yourself that treat, but it's not a routine, you know. And I know a lot of people that are trying to lose weight, and then they're drinking zero Coca-Cola. Come on, you have so many better options.
You mean the Coke Zero?
Yeah, zero, Coke Zero.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? If you want to lose weight, drink some natural orange juice.
Water
Or fruit.
Teas.
You know, natural things. That's the
herbal
secret.
teas and all
know.
this stuff. Yeah.
And
What would be your top 10 in food? If you say natural food, you said something like sweet potato. You say brown rice.
Yeah.
Some whole grains.
Yeah. Everything wholemeal, if you can, like substitute like white rice, white flour for even white sugar. If you like,
It's no good.
I can't drink coffee without sugar. You can use brown sugar, raw sugar, you know, because it's all about the amount of processes they put on the food. So the white flour, the white sugar, they are highly processed. So the brown sugar is still sugar, but it's more macrobiotic. It's less processed. So I tried, this is my first thing. And I got this because my dad is diabetic, and he had to quit all those things because we couldn't have at home to help him out. So, because it's hard when you have everything and you can't eat that. So okay, we're gonna do it with him.
You got to change. You
got to change. And that's one thing, because people look at me like, oh, it's easy for you. You look like a Barbie. Look at your body. You have such a good genetics. I don't have good genetics, guys. My genes are so fucked. And I think my biggest fight is against my genetic. But I'm winning, and I'm gonna win this fight, 100%. So it starts with the wholemeal sort of thing. Alcohol, no good. If you have like drinking habits, Like if you just drink a beer because you're not doing anything, you're so fucked, because alcohol in your body, every beer you drink is like you're eating a dinner roll, like a bread, you know, and that becomes sugar in your body as well. And so after all, like the sweeties are not your biggest enemy. And that's the funniest thing, because I always thought like, oh, to become diabetic, the problem is with the, you know, chocolate, and it's not, because it's other things. And two things is related to my routine. So I try not to eat anything sweet in the morning. I start my day eating savory things, so I don't increase the sugar level on my body straight away. So I eat something savory, wait a little bit, some fruits, juice or whatever, but avoid sweet things in the morning, and avoid eating before going to bed. You gotta eat at least 2 hours before, because it's not good for your body, makes your belly grow and gives you nightmares. You don't sleep well because your body doesn't relax. Your body is still like processing food, so your brain it's activated. So it's even worse for who has insomnia, who has problems. You're gonna have nightmares. Like last night we had like a late dinner, and I didn't wait too much until I went to bed, and I dreamed the whole night. I had these crazy dreams and everything, and I don't have this, because I try to have dinner like 6 p.m. and then I go to bed like 10, and that's it. And you're gonna feel way better. You're gonna relax more. You're gonna wake up. You're gonna feel, and it's some sort of a fasting, but you do it naturally without pushing your body to starve over the day. I can't starve. I'm hungry all the time.
Yeah.
By
So
the way.
what if we come back to that 10 things which in a good nutrition should be part of it? You said no chocolate, no sugar too much, no much alcohol, not the white bread and the white grains, and not those Coke Zero kind of things.
Not.
But what about what is good?
What is good?
Yeah, like maybe say 5 or 10 good things, because people nowadays, they don't really know, you know. And if you have a butter toast with a scrambled egg in the morning and a fruit salad, is this something good or bad? And what about this is good, or what about this could be bad? And how is it compared to, for example, beans in the morning and oatmeal in the morning?
Okay.
For example.
I would say that the best thing for me, I have these favorite dishes that after many years of researching and listening to my body and talking with nutritionists, with nutrologists, and being really interested on that, because I struggle with like a lot with not obesity, but I was like, now I'm 58 kilos, but I've been 85, 86 kilos for a long time.
Oh yeah? When was that?
Yeah. I studied abroad when I was in US. So basically it was 6 months that I put up 12 kilos. But usually I always had like around 67, 72 kilos, you know, like it was my usual weight. And then when I was trying to lose that weight I put up when I was in US, I started talking to nutritionists and everything, and doing a lot of research. And I'm talking about, you're listening to this video here, but you got a doubt of everything you hear on the internet. You get this information here, and you go to Google Scholar or ChatGPT or something, and you have to validate the information, you know, because people are gonna promise all sort of things, but not necessarily this is gonna work for you, you know. So talk to a doctor, to a serious nutritionist, and listen to your body, you know, because once you listen to your body, you're gonna understand what is good for you and what is not good for you. And for example, in Brazil, people eat rice and beans every day. I thought if I wouldn't eat rice and beans every day, I would die. And I've been living in Australia for a year and a little bit more, but
you're still alive.
I'm still alive, and I've never been so strong in my life, you know. And I think it's like things you gotta put less oil when you cook with as less oil as you can, and too much garlic, too much onion, too much pepper. This also is bad for your digestion. So I would say like simple food is the best food. Less.
And also the amount, right? Not too much of everything.
Not too much of everything.
People are overeating nowadays
Eat
a lot.
smaller portions, and in different times of the day. So that thing they say like, you have to eat three times. Why is that? I was always like, that makes no sense. But it is, because when you stay too long without eating, your body is gonna think, she's not eating. Okay, so when she eats, I'm gonna keep this, because who knows when she's gonna eat again. So it's an inverse process. You're not gonna lose weight if you spend too much time without eating. It's the opposite. It's eat small portions, but all the time, even 2 hours, 3 hours. Like it's better to eat small portions in different occasions over your day. And another thing that I think is really important is to plan your diet, like plan when you're gonna eat. So one day, maybe Sunday or Saturday, whatever is the best day for you, you gotta think what I'm gonna eat tomorrow, what I'm gonna eat Tuesday, what I'm gonna eat Wednesday. So you can have a program, you can have a routine for your eating. You don't just like, I'm hungry, what am I gonna eat now? You're gonna eat bullshit, basically. So when you plan what you're gonna eat,
especially if you don't have the knowledge behind.
Exactly.
I think spontaneous eating is a good thing and intuitive eating is a good thing if you understand how your digestion works, how the food is getting here inside, and what does it actually produces later as a result. For example, if you eat the fresh fish or the fresh omelette or the let it be beans or some apple, how is the digestion going to do, and what is it going to do with it in the long run? If you want to build muscle, for example, it's good to have some proteins. Also some animal proteins, can be plant proteins. But also there you need to understand the different ways of digesting and the different ways of processing in the body and what kind of results it's going to make in the bigger future. If you eat like 5 choco muffins a day and that's your whole calorie intake, you probably will get fat, but you will lose muscle in the same time. Kind of thing. So you got to be very careful what you eat and how you eat that. Also how you eat that. And you think about where is it coming from, because this muffin, for example, it's got a lot of sugar compressed in a very small portion.
With white flour, usually.
And all of these things.
Yeah, I'm not telling that they are your enemies. They can be your allies. Just depend on how you eat, when you eat. Because my nutritionist, when I used to have like cravings with bread and sugar, and she would tell me, like, you can eat it. But, for example, if you're gonna surf, you can eat that before going to surf. You eat your boiled eggs in the morning, then you wait 10 minutes, you can eat like a piece of bread. Even with dulce de leite, which is a very common sweet thing in Brazil, in South America. It's pure sugar, it's like milk, condensed milk. It's really delicious. But you can eat that. It's even better. I remember she told me it's even better than those industrialized peanut butters and everything. And if you eat a piece of bread with Nutella or dulce de leite and you go surfing, that's gonna be good for you because you need that energy, that peak of energy. But in other situations, you gotta prefer, for example, sweet potato or tapioca, which is also a very common food in Brazil. Those are complex carbs. So what we are looking for is complex carbs because they take longer to be processed in your body. So you're gonna feel satisfied for longer, and also it's better for your body because then you don't have a peak of sugar, and that's what happens when you eat white bread, white potato. Insulin, peak of insulin, exactly.
That's the diabetes.
That's what causes diabetes, exactly. Yeah. So also I would say this is number 4 would be like think of what you eat and when you eat, because if you realize that, you can eat everything. Just be wisdom about like, can I eat this now? This is good for me. I'm gonna eat a chocolate and go to bed. Is that good? I can eat this chocolate in the morning and then I'm gonna have the whole day to work on those calories and use that energy for my life.
Or maybe after sports, after workout,
to
when you feel like hungry and sugar needed.
I do it. I used to do like half marathons. I'm gonna do a triathlon this year. So yeah, sometimes when I'm cycling, I stop by in some places and I drink a Coca-Cola or eat a sweet because I need that energy, and then that is good for me. And it's not gonna be like I'm not gonna put up weight. I'm not gonna be diabetic because I'm using that energy straight away.
100%.
But if I eat that and I lay down on the couch and I'm gonna watch a movie, it's not gonna be good for you, mate. It's not gonna be good. So it's just be wise about why you eat, when you eat, and then you can eat whatever you want.
What do you think about kind of things like lentils, peanuts,
Yeah,
almonds,
that's what
walnuts, and all these things?
That is what I was going to say. Like the fifth thing that I would recommend is like when you're planning your food, you gotta choose at least 25 natural components for your week. So that could be like vegetables, protein, types of protein,
For example,
fruits. Yeah.
give us some good examples.
For example, when I plan my week, I always think of I'm gonna eat red meat at least 2 times a week, and then I mostly eat chicken, and I also eat salmon or tuna at least 2-3 times a week because of the omega-3, and I eat nuts every day because it helps with the testosterone, especially when you're like 30 and then you start losing testosterone. Also those red fruits, strawberry, raspberry, blueberry. So I try to choose 25 different natural types of food, you know, and also try to think of the colors. So don't get everything green, get something green, yellow, orange, red, brown, you know, like try to diversify the colors and the types of, because most of the people, they just eat the same food all the time.
Yes,
and if you eat, for example, 10 boiled eggs, your body's not gonna absorb that. The body's gonna absorb 2 eggs and the rest is just shit. I'm sorry, but it's the word. I can't use another word.
What do you think about planning? If you say planning your nutrition in terms of a percentage of proteins, a percentage of fat, and a percentage of carbohydrates every day or every week, because in the end it comes down to that, like the macros. What's your perfect or good idea of the percentages of proteins, carbs, and fats, for example? Because I have learned different things and tried different things.
Yeah.
And I made very, very, very strong and different experiences.
Yeah. To start with, I would like to say, this is like I stand for this, like carbs are not your enemies, they're your friends. If someone tells you like you can't eat carbs, don't listen to it, because this is
biggest bullshit ever.
It's bullshit. And it's like it's a modern thing that people wants to blame carbs for all sort of problems. Carbs are not the problem, carbs are solution. We need carbs to survive. We only came here where we are, like as humans, because a lot of people think it was the meat that made society, like humans, evolve, but it was the carbs, because in many places they couldn't get enough amounts of meat, so it was the carbs. It was rice, flour,
all
potato,
the different flours,
all different flours. And so
things,
carbs is life, guys. Carbs makes you alive. Carbs
and
is
the fruits,
it's everywhere. It's in the fruits,
and the vegetables.
In the vegetables. So don't be afraid of eating carbs. They can be your ally if you just be wise. And the thing with the amount, because I work in the kitchen now, so we have a lot of training and everything. So they say we need around 15 grams of protein in one meal. We don't need more than that. So if your plate is like a big steak and a little bit of salad, and you're not gonna process that amount of meat. So you can put 50 grams of protein, 50 grams of carbs, 50 grams of fat. So what I like to do is I cook the salmon or the steak or whatever, and I portion it. I have a scale, and unfortunately you have to have a scale.
Yeah.
If you want to eat healthy, you need to know how much you're eating.
It helps,
because with
sure,
your
to be
eye,
more structured,
accurate, yeah.
yes, and the
So yeah, get a scale, get a lot of takeaways, like containers to prepare your food for the week. So basically in Australia we have
and the mirror also helps.
Mirror and scale to jump in, because I used to be like, I don't even want to jump in the scale. But it's good to know. It's not like a paranoia. I'm going to do it every day after I eat or something. But it's important to monitor. And not only your weight, you got to go and see like how is your body fat, and your muscles.
Very interesting, yes.
You have to know that as well, because sometimes I remember when I was vegetarian, I lost a lot of weight, heaps of weight. I was skinny, and then I went to like an evaluation, and I was still with 33% of fat.
Oh, so you lost a lot of protein muscles.
Yeah, and I was skinny, but I was still fat inside. They call you fake skinny.
Because you didn't eat enough protein, so why did that
Because
happen?
I was vegetarian, I was lacking of protein on my diet.
Oh, so what could you have improved when you look back now? Because maybe vegetarians are watching. What would you have done better? More
The
proteins.
thing is, workout.
Work out,
Go
but
to the
also
gym.
proteins, right?
Yeah, with the proteins, you gotta look for the vegetable proteins, and maybe increase a little bit more. If you eat 50 grams of meat, try to put 80 grams of vegetable protein. And
But if you're vegetarian?
yeah, for vegetable protein.
Like the chickpeas and the lentils
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the
Beans
tofu,
and broccoli,
tempeh.
tofu, and soy, but don't eat too much soy. Not really good, especially if you're a guy. It's not really good because it's a pre-hormonal thing. So if you're vegetarian, I would recommend B12 and vitamins from the complex B. You gotta supplement that, because the reason I'm not vegetarian anymore, because I had that deficiency, and it got me really sick, because I was like, I don't want to take supplements and everything because it's not natural. So
That would be another question.
if you can take supplements. By the way, I was talking to him that
I
I'm gonna
got some good natural supplements with all the complexes, with the minerals and everything.
Because
I think there's nothing speak about that.
Yeah.
Only that is maybe a little bit intense with the money. It's sometimes a bit expensive, but probably it's worth it, right?
Depends where you live, because like there's countries that you can get good vitamins and supplements for like it's affordable. You know, I always like to think like how much I would spend in a fucking McDonald's or in a party. So like I think also that what make me healthier is that I party less.
Yeah.
Now, you know, when you party, next day your body is destroyed. You don't eat well. You just want to eat fast food and junky food because you're hanging over. And so I think partying less is a good tip. And about the amount of food, so people ask me like, how do you put nuts in your lunch? I make a really good salad. So I put a little bit of cheese, a little bit of nuts, some fruits like mango, strawberry,
Seeds, pumpkin
seeds, chia, and then when I buy the rice that is like a brown rice that comes with quinoa and sesame seeds, and you just increment the food you have with other special tricks that makes even healthier and gives more value, gives more, and it's yummy, it's tasty as well, you know. It looks better, like when you see your plate all full of colors, our brain works better, like it makes you feel like, wow, satisfied. That's you eat first with your eyes and then you eat with your stomach, you know.
I definitely cannot recommend to eat more than like 2 handsful of nuts a day.
No.
Because then you have too many, how is it called?
And
the
also
fibers
the skin gets really bad, but it's important, especially for, I think, for men, because they're very connected with the testosterone production. Yeah. So it's really important. But for us as well, we also need testosterone. And when I was vegetarian, I was like, they told me that I was in menopause. They told me like, your testosterone is a menopause woman. And I was 27, 28 or something. So basically, we also need testosterone for everything. For sexual appetite, for having strength, to get up from your bed, to not get injured all the time. So testosterone is life as well. It's really good. So, but to lose weight or to keep like a really good weight, like the right weight for you, you gotta do strength exercises. And like with surfing, nowadays, for example, I don't do too much cardio because I surf almost every day. So I'm already doing cardio, you know. So I only do cardio when I don't surf. And I try to do strength exercises as much as I can, because it's what is gonna give us a future.
So would you recommend like full body workouts, strength exercise?
No,
like
more focus, like one day you focus like upper body and then legs and
really?
Glutes.
You would do like split? I always recommend full body for people who are beginning or in the first couple
for beginning,
years.
I think so. I think so.
Years.
but I've been doing for a long time, and really now my focus is not to lose more weight. So I try to focus like in my shoulders, back, and chest one day,
Yeah.
and arms, and then the other day I do legs and gluteus and everything, and then one day I do full body and like abs.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, I try
Yeah.
to split.
And then take you a rest day or train again, and what
Yeah,
happens?
always resting. If I do like a
1-2
really
days.
if I do a really powerful workout, I might rest for 2 days. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, strength exercises, squats and pull ups and push ups. It's like it's really important. If you want to surf well, you gotta
In
think.
general, I think whatever you do in life,
No,
it's important
and-
exercises.
And you for life, but for surfing especially, if you just get too attached to like, I don't want to have like a big arm, a big back, you're not gonna surf good, unfortunately. And I was like this. I would only work out my legs, my ass, and then I didn't had enough strength to take off. You
Yeah,
know.
women get told this in the fitness.
Yeah,
They say,
don't
train here,
don't
train
do
here,
too
train
much.
here, yeah.
So I think for surfing, it's like really important to do up body and abs for strengthen your core, strengthen your low back, prevent you from injuries, and especially because you're gonna be fighting for waves. Once you stop being a beginner and you go there like by yourself, you're gonna be fighting for waves with guys, and they have more muscles than us, so we gotta be strong enough.
I came out of the womb like this.
We gotta be strong enough to be there, you know, just carry them with our biceps, and yeah, don't be afraid. It's not gonna look bad, you know. I sometimes I think, oh my God, I'm too big, you know, because my arms are like huge at the moment because I'm surfing a lot. But who cares, you know? I just want to surf. I just gonna be a good surfer. I'm not really focused on please others. I want to please myself, and what please me is to surf. So why should I care if I have muscles on my back or on my arms? And I know this is gonna support me also for life, you know, when I have to travel and carry my things and, you know, like clean my house or whatever, and not getting injured, not feeling pain. So drop the judgments, drop the way you feel about how people talk about you, and focus in what is true for yourself, what is good for yourself. And then you're gonna find peace of mind.
So what if someone says, I feel good having like 20 kilograms overweight, I feel good fat, I feel good if I look in the mirror. Is that possible?
Yeah,
You think so? Yeah.
and I think it's what I say. If it makes sense for you, if you feel good,
Then be like this, right?
yeah,
That's okay.
I'm sharing my experience, what I
Yeah.
live, and I'm not talking just because I was feeling bad because I was overweight or something. I had an injury in my back when I was pretty young, so I have 2 split discs on my back. So when I'm with overweight, I feel in pain all the time.
Wow, so this video is
All
more
the
like
time.
a warning for people
Yeah.
who are overweight. It's not about the overweight is the problem, but the problem is the long-term diseases what come with it.
Totally.
Yeah.
And your
Yeah.
knees.
I had a friend, he ever
yeah.
had a heart attack after 10 years, 20 years of overweight. Just boom, strike, 40 years old.
Yeah, but the size of your belly, it's related to the chances of having a heart attack. So as big as your belly is, as big is the chance that you're gonna have a heart attack.
How do you measure that?
Yeah,
How big is your...
they I think I'm pretty safe.
What does it mean? Like 5%, 10%, 20%?
Yeah, it's like they measure the circumference of your belly to tell how likely you are to have a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
So sometimes also with the body fat, for example, I told you guys that I had 33%, but I didn't have fat here. My fat was like on my legs, on my arms. So even if you have a high fat percentage, it's not too bad if you don't have fat in here, because here is where the problem is. When you have fat in your belly, it's what increases the chances of having heart problems and diabetes and other things. So basically, yeah, it's a warning, because I'm telling you, I only got the dream body when I stopped thinking about how I look and outside and how I look, and I start focus on how I look inside. If I'm really healthy, because I don't want to be those crazy people that they look, you know, skinny, but they look sick. I want to be,
Yeah.
I want to be lean, you know, which is being on the right way, which I'm not right now. I'm under my weight. So I was talking to him, when I go back to Australia, I'm going to start doing supplements, because I'm going to going to be on a triathlon in April, and I don't want to be under my weight, because then you also increase the chances of getting sick, of your immunity system goes down. So it's like, it's a thin line, you know, but you got to be looking into yourself and not outside. When you pay attention inside, the outside come as a result. But if you just focus on outside and you're fucking your body inside, your karma is not gonna be on your favor.
What do you think about having fitness goals? For example, if someone says, hey, I want to focus on losing 5 kilograms of weight, or maybe I want to have this kind of shape, body shape. Is this a good thing, or is it not really needed for you? What do you think about that?
I wouldn't recommend. I would recommend, like, I want to eat healthier. I want to have.
Could that be a goal also?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, I showed you my goals. Like, I have this goal. I'm gonna run a triathlon. So of course, I want to run. I want to take up a new sport, take up a new activity. I want to start surfing. You know, this is good, but don't focus your goals in aesthetic things, unless you're like, I'm 100 kilos. So of course you want to lose 25 kilos, you know. But if you just focus on lose those kilos and you don't change your mindset, it's not gonna help, because then you see this with people. They have those surgeries to lose weight, but they don't go to therapy. They don't work out the brain aspect behind, so they never stop being fat, because they still have those habits. They just go there and cut everything off, but they still want to eat all
like
those
short-term
it's you're playing yourself, you know. So be true to yourself and focus on your health in the long-term aspect, you know, because it's not something that it happens from one day, from one night to another day. It's going to be a long process. For me, maybe 20 years that I've been like struggling, and now the past maybe 4 years, I've been living in peace with my weight, in peace with my health, because I don't get too sick too often. You know, my immunity system works perfectly. I recover super fast from everything that I get. So it's the best medicine. It's food. Food is gonna nourish your body.
That's a big one, yeah.
It's gonna first nourish your soul, and you feel you're more connected to yourself and to the planet. And also because when you eat healthier, you also help the planet, because you're eating vegetables, you're eating organic food, you're looking for like where this is coming from.
You create awareness,
yeah. In Australia, it's really good. I think that it really helped me with my process, because you go to the supermarket and have heaps of salads available, like easy way to make a salad. You don't have to wash, because it's already
you're surrounded by already good
a
things,
culture
right?
of people that eat
culture.
Like 4 or 5 generations of healthy eaters in a family. So
that's so great what you're saying. I was thinking about that. We should zoom out about where we are coming from and why do we do what we do. We get conditioned by our parents, by our grandparents, and we kind of take their habits as ours. And in the end, if we move to another country or we see different cultures, we understand,
Totally.
oh, there's something different, and we start being and creating more awareness
Totally.
about what is also possible. And then we can pick our battles, our choices, our sweets kind of thing.
And stop blaming
Never
others.
blame anyone, yeah.
And
Forgive
understand you're part of the problem, you know, because
No.
I think if you give an excuse, like, I eat like this, I have friends that are like this, I'm overweight because my boyfriend, my partner only eats crab, and I always tell them that's not his problem.
No.
This is your
Forgive
problem.
them. Yeah,
Forgive
forgive
him
them.
and focus on your own journey. But surround yourself on good role models, because this is also important. Because if you only hang out with people that eat crab, you're gonna end up eating crab. So that's why I left my house when I was 18, I think.
Yeah, if you
Because I didn't want to eat like that. And that's coming back, like, to sum up with tradition. My family, if you look to a family photo, like 95% of my family is overweight. Everybody's like tall and big, and they drink too much. They only eat crap.
And I think what you're saying is not that you don't love your family,
I love
not
them.
that you not love your culture.
But
It's
I
more
can't
about
save them. I can
be
only
more-
save myself.
Be more aware, right?
Yeah, I
That's
can
what
only
we
save
want to try
myself.
to do with the video, yeah.
And I try to, like, if I have a family meeting or something, I always bring like a healthier dish, and I show them that is good. Like, even if you're eating barbecue, you can eat like some veggies with the barbecue, a salad or something. And then that's it. Save yourself. Don't try to save your partner. Don't try to save your parents. Save yourself. Take care of yourself and give as an example, like, let people witness the change in your life, and then you might have a possibility to change them as well. But they gotta be willing to change, and not you like, I'm only gonna change my habits if my partner changes his habits.
Nah,
It's not gonna happen.
you got to change first.
You gotta change first.
Do you know that Chinese saying or the Japanese saying, if you have like a road with 10 houses and everyone cleans in front of their house, the whole road is clean.
That's it. And also, like, be gentle and patient. I know that it's hard, especially if you're like overweight.
Oh, yes.
Like, you just wanna do it and it has to be now. But be gentle, because
It took
it's-
a long time to build that, so it takes a long time
Yeah.
to reduce it.
and it's the same thing with surfing or yoga. Yoga mostly, the philosophy behind yoga tells you that you gotta find comfort where it's uncomfortable. But you can't hurt yourself, because it's one of the principles of yoga according to Patanjali. Like, you can't hurt yourself. If you hurt yourself, it's not yoga. So part of this thing with food and eating healthier came from my experience with yoga as well. That if I want to take care of myself, I need to eat better, and that not only being vegetarian or whatever. It's just like, if I'm eating crap all the time, I'm hurting myself. And I'm against violence. I don't want to be violent with my body. I want to be gentle. I want to be nice with my body, because it's the only body we're gonna have, unless depending on your beliefs. But I believe on this, I'm not gonna have a second chance. So I need to take care of this one that I have now, and because it's amazing. It's a machine that it's one of the most amazing things.
I want to ask you a deeper question. Why do you think humans have created those kind of sugars, alcohols, and all these bad, like cigarettes and all these bad drugs availabilities for the big human picture, for the society, if they already know they're bad? Why do someone does that and sell them, all the shops selling cigarettes, and they know it's not good for my neighbor to sell him cigarettes, but
Yeah.
in the end I do it. And so there's something like in that question what I want to trigger, is a deeper question. Why do you think is this even happening? Why not everyone is providing healthy for their neighbors?
I reckon that it's because,
Or is there
first,
something good in all the bad also?
no, I think it's because, first, there's a demand, and that's capitalism. Like, if you want people,
So it's a capitalistic system.
of course, and the capitalist system also makes us stressed, makes us unhappy, miserable, and then when you're miserable, you want to eat a chocolate, you want to eat a burger, and then you walk past and McDonald's is that big red
It's
thing
a very
and just like
emotional
shining.
decision, yes.
Yeah, and I think they play with our bad feelings, and this is one thing that I like to eat chocolate when I'm happy, or whatever. Like, I'm gonna drink a beer because I'm happy. Because when you start to drink a beer
And you're
or
sad?
smoke a cigarette or eat a chocolate because you're sad, you're just like,
You try to get yourself
yeah,
out of your hole with that.
and it's not really good. It's a bad rewarding for your body, and then you associate with that, and even when you're a kid, now there's parents, they don't give sugar to the kids, and that's a huge thing in Brazil, because you're mean, you're denying an ice cream to your kid. But come on, it's a 2-year-old kid. Did you see a kid when they eat sugar? They become little devils, they just get all agitated. And with us, it's not different, I feel that. I told you about my friend that she had an anxiety crisis after eating a chocolate in school, because she doesn't eat chocolate that much, and she ate a chocolate and she was like, I was like, what's going on? And she's like, I think I'm having an anxiety crisis, and she blamed the coffee because she drank a sip of coffee, and I was like, that wasn't the coffee, that was the chocolate. Sugar gives you anxiety, gives you addiction, like one of the worst addictions, I think, is the sugar addiction. So I think they play with these human feelings because we are humans. We are full of failures, and they know that the system knows that, and they want to.
Who's they?
They, the big brands, the industries, and they are all together. The same industries, they control food, they control drugs, like the pharmaceuticals, they control agrotoxics, like the pesticides they put on the crops. So it's all connected, you know. And I'm not telling you, I am capitalist. I love my iPhone, you know. I love going to shop, but I'm aware that what is good for me and what is not good for me. So they can try to sell me those things, and I'm not gonna believe them. I'm not gonna be like the best customer. I'm not telling you that I don't eat McDonald's, but maybe I eat 2 times a year, especially because I live in a place there is no McDonald's and the people hate McDonald's, you know. So yeah, moving to Australia, if you want to be healthy, I think Australia is the best world in the country. The coast of Australia, you feel bad if you're not healthy. People are just, it's ridiculous. Everybody looks good.
Also, I understand
everybody looks healthy. Everybody is aware of, but there's a lot of also like fake gurus and people trying to tell you, you gotta fast 3 days a week.
You need to do breath work.
Breath work, and don't trust these guys. Trust yourself and look for reliable people and people that are willing to share, willing to really teach you how to be a better person, not just prescribe you a diet or a bunch of drugs that are gonna help you. And now, like in Brazil, it's trending a new drug called Ozempic that is for diabetic people, to help diabetic people to lose weight. And now, like, all my friends, they want Ozempic, and they keep like messaging the people, I do have an Ozempic, and this is what they want, you know. They want you, they're gonna sell you the McDonald's, and then they're gonna sell you the Ozempic to make you lose those kilos you put up because of McDonald's.
Sell or be sold.
This is the bad capitalism. We can go for the green capitalism, what they call, you know, and research about that, because we can't deny we live in a capitalism system, but we can make better choices for ourselves and have a legacy. Because imagine, like, you're gonna have a family. I'm gonna have a family one day also, and I keep thinking, what is the legacy I want to pass on? You know, I want to pass on the legacy of diabetes and heart attacks and, you know, obesity, or I want to pass a legacy of being a surfer, of being healthy and being like aware of.
Yeah, you're a role model for sure.
Yeah, and I'm the first surfer of my family, and maybe the only person that is healthy in my family, because everybody's not really paying attention on that. So I
But are they healthy in the inside?
That's another podcast. But they're good
yes
people.
No?
They're good people. They're just not aware, you know. And I understand that, and I understood that I can't save them. But if I'm gonna have a family, and I want to, it's gonna be another thing. And this legacy that I can pass on to my family is not gonna be the same one that I got from my family. I got good values, like moral principles, values. But when it comes to healthier habits, they're not really good role models. But that's not an excuse, because I remember, like, the biggest role model I had was one of my best friend's mom. She's always been like this, and that's it. You gotta choose your role models. If you don't have it at home, choose a teacher, choose one of your friend's parents, like your best friend. Look up for people that's gonna give you good perspectives of life. If you don't have this from your family, don't use an excuse. If you don't have this in your town, just move to another town, you know. And that's no excuses. That's the thing. And if you're gonna blame someone, we gotta blame ourselves and be responsible. Because the worst thing I believe is like when you don't take responsibility from your own actions. Because nobody puts a gun on your head and say, eat this Big Mac now, you know.
Eat the carrot.
Yeah, you know. And if I managed to eat vegetables, you guys can. Because I was like, I used to hate broccoli. I would run away from my house if I knew that there was broccoli for lunch, literally. And I would hide on my friend's place until I knew the lunch was over, and I would rather starving than eat a broccoli. Now I put like broccoli, raw broccoli and I make like green juice and I eat like a carrot like a like a rabbit. And if I manage to do that, everyone can, because I'm telling you, I was the biggest veggies hater in the world. So trust me, you can. You can. I know you can, and I trust you as well.
Nice. So if we summarize what we just said in the last 40, 50 minutes for all the friends and followers and listeners and visitors out there, if we summarize it, how would you break it down? We say natural food, be aware what's important for your digestion, for your body, and then do trainings, follow your heart, your intuition, what you want to do, what feels good to eat, and don't be stupid and don't believe everyone would try to sell you something, right? Say no to all of the things, and more often say no if someone want to give you this. Just listen what you really want and really need. And
Perfect.
how would you summarize
And also,
or add something to
yeah,
the
and
summarize?
be surrounded by people that have similar purpose in life, you know. And this is also, it's really important, because you push yourself, you encourage yourself, you're gonna be stronger if you're surrounded of people that also has the same you know, mindset and yeah,
goals,
values and
yeah.
goals in life. And that's really important. But the main focus is you. It's like we cannot change the world, but we can change ourselves. So if you manage to change yourself, who knows, maybe we can change the world as well.
Yeah.
First, individual by individual, and then we gather together. And yeah, it's a big change, and the world needs it. We can't keep doing what we're doing. We're not gonna have enough hospitals to feed, to feed everyone that is gonna be sick if we keep eating like this, if we keep living like this. So it's not a matter of how, but yeah, not a matter of what, but a matter of when. This is happening right now. I think COVID was a big alert for us, like that we gotta be aware, we gotta be careful with your health and with others as well, you know. And so it's happening, and I want to be part of the change, but the good change, not the apocalypse.
Yeah, I think we're all in a learning process. That's also very important.
Yeah.
We should not judge someone who's behaving in a certain
No.
way. It's more about maybe they are just starting to learn, or they are not there with the knowledge. And for me as a coach, for example, it's important to bring information, to bring knowledge, to bring energy, to provide and share, so people can actually rethink, reflect, and change something, or get a reminder to change something. I also need that pretty often, asking my coach or someone, oh, remind me on what was very important quickly. Ah, that was important. And then I get back on track again. Because sometimes we are getting hustled, bustled in the daily life, and we lose our focus. And that happens, I think, to almost everyone. And it's so important to also understand and show appreciation and patience with the people, and understand everyone is in that learning process, and we're all in there together. And that's the fun part about it. Now with the environmental changes, I see a lot changing here with the cleaning. Usually there was so much plastic on every beach, but I think in the last years, for example here in Indonesia, where we are sitting right now, the people are getting more aware of the plastic pollution and picking up trash. They're having trash cans, they're putting the trash to the bin.